This is Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Hour 2 Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line of the final score. Bryan Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Dave Feschuk of the Toronto Star. Confirm or deny later in the hour. Insiders coming up, Darren Dreger, Chris Johnston. CJ will be down at the Leaf game tonight. Leafs Habs. And it's funny how, they overshadow the beginning of each year, right? Where when the Jays were in spring training and then coming up, it was like, go stand over there. The Leafs are coming down the stretch. Leafs are in the playoffs, and the Leafs took up so much oxygen. And the reverse has really happened here over the last few weeks. An incredibly quiet camp for the Leafs. Just not much going on.
No.
Easton Cowan, for some reason, has been recalled but not playing tonight, which I'm a little bit confused by. Yeah, after Berube has been pumping his tires, including on the show yesterday.
It's weird, Hayes, how they said they continue to say they love him, they like what he's doing, they think he's an NHL player, and yet he gets called up to not play. Where if a guy like that, I only say this because I did it myself, it's a weird vibe. I got called up, played one game, maybe two, and then I was scratched. It was so weird coming off for warm-up, and Paul Maurice was the assistant coach, and he just gave me the head shake where he's like, you're out. And he did it 10 games in a row, and I'm like, 10 games in a row? Healthy? I'm like, this is bad news. But then all of a sudden there was a coaching change, and he said, you're playing. So it's going to be fascinating what they do with the guy, because he doesn't just need to put his jersey on. He's got to, play.
Yeah, he's got to be a contributor. I think the upside here is tremendous, and they got to be careful how they bring him into the league, how they introduce him to this league, and how they bring him along, because you can screw this up, right? If you don't do this right, you don't put him in a position to succeed. And to O's point, we know many situations where guys have been, put in those healthy scratch situations, or languished in the minors when they thought they should have been playing in the NHL. It's a dicey prospect considering they have so much depth at the forward position. There's no clear-cut guys that are going to make a difference. So he's got to earn a job. At the same time, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and again, it's Berube's call if he plays tonight, though. Right?
Yes.
That's the way it goes. So you can't have it both ways. Berube wants him to play, or Treliving wants him to go to the minors. Well,
Berube fills out the lineup card.
Exactly. He got called up.
It's never that clear-cut.
It generally isn't, and then why is he up? I don't know. Maybe it's because the Marlies haven't started yet, and Treliving wants him to start there. They could be that easy, and they're just not being open and honest about it, that they want him to start in the American League, give him 20 games down there. Later in the year, he'll be available. It's possible. But nonetheless, with or without Cowan in the lineup, the Leafs are playing tonight. And I think it was Lance Hornby that tweeted out today that Keith Pelly was giving a little pep talk to the guys this morning. Mm-hmm. I don't recall anyone doing that in the past.
Shanny popping in there for a pep
Did Shanahan do that?
I think Shanny gave a lot of pep talks.
I don't think
I
he was
just
the
don't know
pep
what you're
talk
going to
guy.
say to the fellas. Are you bringing up the Ryder Cup again? I just don't know what's...
The Argos-Bills agreement? Just want to chime in on that? I don't know.
I'll tell you guys, I've seen Keith speak in front of a group a few times. He is...
Compelling guy.
He is an energy guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he brings energy into a room. So
Hey, maybe that's all it takes, Chuck. If you got energy and you can pump some, go ahead, fire away.
He's a belief guy. He can get you believing in yourself. I think that's his skill. I think he can come in there and say, I believe in you. This is why you should believe in yourselves. We're all behind you. We're going to give you every resource this massive organization has to give you, and we believe you can get it done.
Okay. I like that idea. I'm okay with that. Now, the cynic in me, I'd ask the former athlete, if the players sitting there, are they, waiting for the pep talk from the president and CEO? Did the Leafs actually think they work for Keith Pelly? I guess would be the way I would phrase it. I hear what you're saying, Feschuk. If you work, if you're an assistant, an intern, or someone that's trying to move up the chain, that can be amazingly compelling. I don't know if the player's I work for Keith Pelly. I don't think they look at it that way. So
I just don't know if I would be in there listening to it, and then all of a sudden after he walked out, I'd be like, now I'm ready to go. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it would be the final thing from training camp to the regular season, where if the president of the whole thing came in there and you're like, okay, now I'm officially ready to start the season.
Right.
Because usually they only come in there if it's really hitting the fan and things are really bad.
And you would know you're going to run into those guys at the Christmas party and at the charity events and all that. It's not that it's not cordial. It's that, you're stepping into their world, like into the locker room, into the dressing room.
But let's not forget, guys, we got an interesting dynamic now where ownership is changing, right? The guy who was typically the face of ownership, Larry Tannenbaum, is on the way out. Mm-hmm. And Larry was in there a lot. Larry went into that locker room, like the Raptors locker room, the Leafs dressing room, an awful lot. Like in wins and after losses, Larry Tannenbaum was shaking a lot of hands in there, patting a lot of guys on the back, trying to bring them up when they're down, congratulating them when they're up. So I think Keith Pelly's trying to step into that breach because there needs to be some bridge from the players to the owner.
Representing the organization as a whole.
Right.
And that is Keith Pelly,
That's
clearly
Keith
right
Pelly's
now.
job right now.
Yep, and it's an important job. There's no questioning that. All right, we got Leafs Habs tonight. We got 4 games in the NHL. We had a few games yesterday in the NHL. We have signings today. A lot going on. Here's the Insider Roundtable. Darren Dreger and Chris Johnston joining us now here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Look at these guys. Look at this crowd. I love it. How we feeling this afternoon, boys?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm actually parked at I'm parked at a Cabela's.
I was going to say all's well here down at Scotiabank Arena.
Okay. And Dregs, you're in Winnipeg. Is that where you are right now? Where are you?
Yeah. I'm in Winnipeg specifically. I'm in a parking lot at Cabela's. I got the work done early. Did a bunch of sit-down interviews with all the stars of the Winnipeg Jets. Obviously, had to chew on the Kyle Connor signing, and then after that, Jack Eichel. But just a bit of downtime here, and then get ready for their home opener tomorrow.
Okay. Beautiful. Well, in terms of those signings, I guess we'll begin with you, Dregs. This is a theme happening throughout the league where if you're a star player, you stay in your respective market. Player wants to stay, GM and owner wants to keep you. And outside of Mitch Marner, everyone else has been kumbaya so far. Is this just the new NHL? And for how long is this going to happen before a superstar decides I'm actually going to test free agency?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. And there's some good players that are obviously entering the final year of their contract that will be decent unrestricted free agents. But to your point, Brian, not to the level of Jack Eichel or obviously Connor McDavid. Kyle Connor, Kaprizov in Minnesota. But these are all cornerstones of their franchise, right? No different than Kaprizov in Minnesota. The Winnipeg Jets couldn't really look into the crystal ball and see a productive future without Kyle Connor. And Kyle Connor embraces what Winnipeg is all about. He's one of those guys like Connor Hellebuck, likes the outdoorsy sort of life. He's got a young family. So it makes sense for him to likely tie his wagon for the rest of his career to the Winnipeg Jets. And I would apply that same logic to Jack Eichel. Now, Jack Eichel's getting more money, $108 million, a heavy front-loaded contract, right? But